from Chiang Mai, and I'm here on day 3 of my 5-day digital nomad tour. And I have with me Erica Blair. How you going, Erica?
I'm freaking awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
No worries. Good to have you back on Beach City cameras.
It's awesome to get to talk to you guys and see what's happening with the Chiang Mai Beach City crossover. It's pretty amazing to see what kind of reach you guys are getting and how many people that you're getting to kind of talk about this movement. I really like it.
Yeah, it is cool. And for those of you that don't recall, Erica actually came on board as a roving correspondent in Colorado.
Yeah.
In
Boulder Startup
Boulder.
Week last
Thank you.
year. Last year, yeah.
Yeah.
And now, look at us now, eh? Hey.
Wow.
That's part of the digital nomad life, right? One point time you're in Colorado, next you're in Chiang Mai. You never quite know where someone's going to be, and I like to keep people guessing, so.
How long do you spend in Chiang Mai? How long have you been back in Chiang Mai?
I've been here 4 months this time, but I've lived here 3 out of the last 8 years, and I don't really have a pattern. So I can stay here for the high season or longer, depending on what I want. But Chiang Mai really has this like concentrated high season between October and February, where a lot of digital nomads come all at the same time because the weather is perfect and there's a lot of events going on and a lot of stuff happening.
Okay.
And so for me, that's like the time I know I'm going to be in Chiang Mai, and the rest of the year is a wild card.
Okay, groovy. And you're a brand strategist, so you're doing client work?
I do coaching mostly.
Okay.
I have a few different sides of my business, but primarily what I do is I actually get on the phone with people and I help them figure out their vision for their business, I help them hammer out their ideal client. We work on creating packages and putting prices on those, as well as designing their entire brand messaging. So that's the kind of work that I do. It's almost exclusively on the phone, which is fun for me, but not necessarily well suited to co-working spaces.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
I've realised that.
Yeah.
There's spaces which is right behind us, so we're at Pun Space again, and they're super quiet inside. Everyone's getting stuff done. So yeah, whereabouts do you work from then?
I work from my beautiful home in the jungle, 10-15 minutes from here.
I've seen photos, and that I was going to ask you about that. So you actually live in the jungle?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the beauty of Chiang Mai. The reason why I love Chiang Mai, and this is different than what I see a lot of other digital nomads doing. Like most people come here, they stay in Neiman, they do the city condo thing, and they stay in the city. I live in Chiang Mai because there is there's just such a beautiful integration between nature and the city. Like I can have a full social life. I can have access to a million restaurants, amazing people, an incredible entrepreneur community, and then I get to go 10 minutes away and literally be surrounded by bamboo, lakes, waterfalls.
Why aren't we interviewing there, Erica? Come on, I want to dive in the waterfall.
Efficiency. Next time though.
Do you swim in the waterfalls?
Sometimes, yeah.
Awesome.
It's good for the hot season.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right now it's a little cold.
Come on.
But Chiang Mai's got a great lifestyle like that. Like you can have nature, and for someone like me who really likes hiking, really likes getting outside, it's really important for me to strike that balance.
Cool.
And a lot of the nomad hubs are really city centric. And a lot of the kind of culture happens in these dense urban areas. And so for me to be able to have that and also have the nature side is why I love Colorado. It's why I love Chiang Mai. And I personally go looking for the spots that have the blend of both.
Well, I have that blend at home in Gold Coast, Australia.
Awesome.
I work, in town, if you can call it that, by the beach, by a creek by the beach rather. And then I'm 10 minutes and I'm in the hinterland and with no neighbours, and it's
Awesome.
fantastic. So I like that too. So I really resonating, and I can go hiking up and down the mountains behind me as well. Mountains, the hills.
I think, part of what we're saying too is that there is so many options of how you can live and how you can tailor this like digital nomad lifestyle, and the scene that's kind of popping up in different places. You can pick and choose based on what are your priorities for your lifestyle.
So if somebody out there wants to do just what you're doing, they want to move into the jungle, maybe not next door to you, give us some space.
Maybe.
Give us some space, people. but they want to do that. So what's the sort of cost for living for doing that?
It's probably like half or a third as much for rent out where I live for a giant house as it is for a tiny condo in town in Chiang Mai. And so
Wrap some figures around that for people.
yeah, I pay 11,000 baht, which is about $400 a month, and I have a giant 2-story mansion. Yeah, which is, I mean, honestly, in Chiang Mai, like if you stay in the little tiny nomad bubble, rent is the same in Chiang Mai as it was for me in America, for a lot of people that want to live like right in Neiman Haven in one of the fancy buildings, which is cool. Like if that's what your
Yeah.
thing and you can afford it, cool. But there's so many other options for people that kind of want to have a blend of different, a different lifestyle with also having access to the social life, to the community, which is really what makes Chiang
Yeah.
Mai stand out as a
Yeah.
destination.
Yeah. So community-wise, how do you connect with the community?
I spent a lot of time going to events in Chiang Mai, and that's one of the amazing things about it here is that literally every single day of the week there's something interesting going on. At some point you kind of have to like limit yourself because you have to get your work done, you have to do your self-care, etc. At least for me now, I've scaled it back because it's almost like too much.
Yeah.
Like especially during the high season, because from October to February there are just flocks of people coming here, and to have kind of to keep that balance between work and being chill and then also interacting with all the people that are here. It's tough, but you know, like honestly, I don't think that I've ever been anywhere where it's easier to connect with the community than Chiang Mai. Because of the fact that we're all here in a foreign country, we're all sort of expats in a way. It's this filter and it's a unifier.
Yeah.
So when you go out and meet people, it's almost assumed that you have a connection with them or that you have some sort of like base level of friendship that a lot of times, at least in my experience in America, you have to kind of work up to over time with people. And so just like coming and immediately making friends is easier here than anywhere else that I've ever been.
It's the same when you're backpacking, but in this case, you can actually develop working relationships too. So there's even more opportunity to leverage off those friendships.
Oh my God. I mean, especially like I was living in Colorado. It's got an amazing startup scene. It's got stuff happening. But by far for me, coming to Chiang Mai was what exploded my professional network in terms of knowing other people who were doing similar work to me, people who were doing complementary work, kind of getting referrals from each other and launching big projects together. One of the best things that I did over the course of the last couple of years that I've been really solidly in Chiang Mai for a lot of the year was I started a mastermind group. And so me and 3 other women have been meeting for 4 months last year and now 4 months in person again this year to really hammer out our businesses together. And that's something that you can really easily do in Chiang Mai because of the fact that everybody here is working on really interesting, ambitious, intriguing projects in a way that I had to find, there were just very few people who were kind of on that level when I lived elsewhere and when I wasn't kind of interacting every single day with new people.
Okay, so you get around on a scooter, so we've covered that. That's cool. Scooters are hugely popular and super fun. I hope you're being careful because I heard just last night that somebody, one of the quite well-known nomads actually passed away just recently by riding a scooter. So I don't know him, but yeah, it was a bit sad. Anyway, moving on from that somber moment, I had another question. Future.
Yeah.
What is how far into the future are you thinking? Are you pretty much you're moving here like 4 months ago. Did you realize that you were going to be here 4 months later? Or was it, and also beyond maybe a few months, how much into the future are you planning? What is there life after nomadic life?
Okay, well, that's a big question in a lot of ways. In terms of right now, I knew I was going to be in Chiang Mai for the whole high season. That's something that I'm really committed to doing because this is my community, this is my home base, and to be in Chiang Mai for that period is really important to me because this is when kind of the peak energy is happening here. I'm going to Saigon next for a few months, and last year I did like a really rapid travel thing.